talking about some disappointment that people have had in the design of the Turcotte interchange, and you mentioned that that's the least of our problems. Maybe you could elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, I would, unfortunately, what has happened so far, we are looking at one project at a time. Turcotte Exchange, Mercier Bridge, Victoria Bridge, connecting highways to local roads, etc. I think what we need to look at is the global issues that are involved here. What kind of Montreal do we want in 50 to 100 years from now? What kind of quality of life would we want? Do we still want the car to be the king and design keeping that in mind as we are doing right now? Or do we want a city, perhaps that will be green, car-free, as we have got, let's say, much smaller traffic in London, England, New York, you can't go in, local taxis are there. So if we go in that direction and say that, we have to transport people using transit system would be needed, and cars would not have the same emphasis as we have right now, then that should be reflected in the design of every structure that we are examining.
So how could people in the engineering community take more of a lead on if they feel strongly about this and they have ideas, especially the younger engineers coming up have ideas about implementing a broader strategy? What could they do that they're not doing?
I'll suggest a solution. Let's say take some representatives of the city of Montreal, the province of Quebec, some representatives of the academics, the engineering community, the professional societies, put them together, and let's look at what kind of Montreal do we want. Is car still going to be the king in 50 or 100 years?
Is this something that we should be engaging the public on?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course, public has to be represented.
But unfortunately, I think a lot of members of the public will say that they do want their car, that they want a car city. So that can be problematic.
Well, let's say if a trip by car takes you 25 minutes, and the same trip by transit might take you 15 to 20 minutes, a person would not mind taking the bus or the...
So if you could guarantee that level of service, then more people might be inclined to take transit.
That's right. So transit has to be developed, and it has to evolve to a state that people would be convinced that leaving the car at home is not going to jeopardize them in terms of the commuting time.